has the public now come to accept Queen Camilla.
I like her and I think she's going to be popular.
I'm of a generation that remembers Diana and the boys, and I'm not sure, it doesn't feel very comfortable for me.
I think she's a lovely person and we all need to accept her as Queen now.
So, can Queen Camilla save the monarchy? Does the monarchy need saving? Well, joining us now is Arthur Edwards, royal photographer for The Sun, and Jack Royston, chief royal correspondent of Newsweek. Arthur, let's come to you first of all. You must have photographed Camilla for many, many years. When did you get to meet her?
Very well, in the late 70s, when she was a part of the Prince of Wales equestrian team, cross-country team. She was a fantastic horsewoman, and they were just friends then. But, you know, I've got to know her really on that engagement picture when I congratulated her and asked if the king had got down, if the prince had got down on one knee, and she said, of course. So, yeah, and I've enjoyed her company, and I love her, and she's just a fantastic lady. I've danced with her, I've chatted to her.
We've got a picture
quite a lot. Yeah, I just think.
Was it break dancing? What kind of dance?
No, we
was
just rock and roll a bit, you know, shake, rattle and roll. And no, I think she's just got the not lost the common touch. She's got this common touch, which is
so is she
amazing.
Just having her as queen, not queen consort, but queen, having that sort of traditional, established way, king and the person married to the king being queen, is that just what the monarchy needs right now?
I think so. I think I've just been to Germany and with the royal couple, and when the king addressed the German Parliament, they stand and applauded him for at least 2 minutes. It's quite amazing that this couple not only greatly received here, but throughout the world. And you know, this coronation that's coming up next month, I mean, that's going to be watched by billions throughout the world, and it's just a. And she has just made him so happy. I can't tell you. It's, you know, the years after the divorce from Diana until he agreed to be married to Camilla, they were lonely years for him. I remember going on those tours with him, and he was okay, but you know, he wasn't the same. And since he met her, it's laughter. You see all these pictures. You know, they just laughed a lot together. They enjoy each other's company, and she's very loyal to him as well. I remember once in Delhi, opening the Commonwealth Games, and. She said, they tried to move me, she said. I said, no, I want to sit next to my husband, you know, and she was so adamant about it. But more than anything, they're just so good in each other's company. They just really enjoy each other's company.
This is all well and good, but the monarchy has a massive problem waiting down the line. There's a kind of time bomb waiting to go off, which is that, sure, Camilla and Charles are popular among older British people, but 18 to 24-year-olds have swung quite hard against monarchy in the years after Oprah. That's fired the starting gun on a crisis that is brewing slowly. As recently as January, in the aftermath of Harry's book, 52% of 18 to 24-year-olds favoured abolishing the monarchy. Now, this is new. It might feel like young people are a bit more radical than older people, but it didn't used to be this way. And it's a problem that the royals are going to have to deal with. And what's really difficult about it is the big, you know, triggers for this are debates about racism, debates about colonialism, debates about privilege. And these are not issues where Camilla has anything within her life history or the work she does that she can really bring out to make a case to bring those people back.
But could she, now she is in her role as Queen, could she do things that could perhaps make a difference, make a change? For example, you know, so you think of someone like King Charles, when he was Prince Charles. I know a lot of young people have really got close because of the Prince's trust and the amazing work he's done there. And I think that really has...
She does do a lot, doesn't she?
So, you know, if she was to continue doing the work that she does, but do even more and be very public-facing in that, could she sway public opinion?
The trouble is she doesn't get cut through because there isn't a huge appetite to read about her. So she does do some important and, you know, really good projects. Her work on domestic violence is hugely important and actually would have the support of that younger generation if they really knew about it. But there isn't a big market for reading about Camilla, so these stories get written, but not...
When do young people read newspapers, Jack? They don't. You see them on the trains in the morning on their phones.
On their phones,
People don't read newspapers anymore, and that's the sad thing. I mean, I've just...
Maybe she needs a TikTok account.
Well, you know, TikTok accounts. Well, I think they must have a TikTok account, the royals, because they're trying to connect. But, you know, I don't think it's their turn. And the younger royals, they take their turn. I mean, the king has waited 70 years for this job. and you know, and you wouldn't give it to your son because it's just it's a terrible job to take on, you know, at a young age. I mean, William's only 40. If he took that on now, it would be it just wouldn't be right.
Do you worry?
Also,
Is she damned if she does and damned if she doesn't? Because
thing
a
is
lot
that-
of people this morning are admiring her because, in a sense, she has kept a low profile, stuck by Charles throughout the whole thing and been support for him.
Yeah.
And then you're saying, well, actually, she doesn't have cut-through. She's not going to bring the youngsters in.
Well, I don't agree. I think that she will. And I mean, I see people, the crowds. I mean, I was in Bolton recently, 30 deep, and there were a lot of young people there come out to see this couple. I mean, they're in their 70s. I mean, they're 75. I mean, Camilla's 75 and the Prince is 75 soon. But, you know, they've got so much energy and so much to give. And you know, as you say, she totally supports her husband. She does everything to support him. Nothing matters more to her than see him happy. And
I'll tell you what, if one person's going to save the monarchy, it's probably actually not even going to be Prince William. It could be Prince George, because older people still like the monarchy. This problem with the younger generation won't start to blow up for the royal family until 20, 30 years from now, which will be when the mantle starts to pass through the generations. So if...
That's a really good point, isn't it?
Yeah, so if Prince George comes through and people fall in love with him, you know, he's a young man in his early 20s, maybe Princess Charlotte too.
It's a really... The responsibility on that generation is quite amazing.
And what about William and Catherine? I mean, people, they are taking a very much stronger profile, aren't they?
Yeah, they're very well liked, and they do have cut through stuff. They do get reported hugely, and they have big fans among younger people. So it could be that they can make some inroads here as well. But also, it is difficult. The specific problems that have given rise to this swing against monarchy among young people. You know, it started after Oprah. Spare was clearly a big factor as well, because there was another big swing after Spare, and William is the villain of that story. So that makes
everybody was the villain of that story.
Camilla
was a villain.
Was too.
Camilla's only ever been nice to Harry, and you know, and he does that to her. I mean, you know, wonder why his father's not talking to him. I mean, it's just disgraceful. That.
But also, I think, you know, allegations unproven about other members of the royal family probably haven't helped either. So I don't think it's all entirely at Harry's door.
Exactly. It's not all at Harry's door. But and it's not about blaming Harry for it, but it is about understanding what do you actually do to solve this problem. And they have to get into some really difficult issues to solve, such as colonialism. What do you do about that when the Foreign and Commonwealth Office policy is not to apologise for slavery? You know, what can the royals actually do? So they've got really big challenges, and they've got to work out how they're going to approach them. But I cannot see Camilla being the person who saves them from this problem.
Well, we shall see. Thank you very much for joining us. Jack Royston, Chief Royal Correspondent of Newsweek, and Arthur Edwards, as ever, the Royal Photographer. Thank you so much. Lovely to... I was going to imagining you and Camilla dancing.
Well, we were great, I tell you. She said, let's go on Strictly, but I said... she did.
You know they're the producers are watching. They're probably thinking...
She said, but don't tell my husband.
He'll never find out. He doesn't watch the BBC.